This is the battle of the German giants, Gunter Schlierkamp and Markus Ruhl, two of the biggest, heaviest pro bodybuilders in the history of the sport. I believe at one time Gunter did reach the 300-pound mark, and ditto probably with Markus Ruhl. Massive. But here at the 2004 Mr.Olympia event, I have to say Gunter was down in size, and Markus Ruhl pretty much smoked him, I believe. But anyway, I figured we would do a little comparison, and this is not going to be it for these two. I am going to continue this little feud. Of course, Markus, he did place ahead of Gunter here. He placed 5th, and Gunter in 6th, which was actually a good placing for both of these gentlemen. But there's other events where Gunter placed ahead of Markus, so it'll be interesting to see if I disagree or agree with the judges. This is the first pose. We're going to ignore the front relaxed. We have no rear relaxed. And unfortunately, as you may or may not know, the 2004, the cameramen were all tilted thusly, and you can't really gauge the silhouettes, things of that nature, but you can really tell a lot from the conditioning, things like that. And Markus Ruhl is head and shoulders above Gunter Schlierkamp. I mean, wow. Both of these gentlemen known for a massive, and I mean massive, set of biceps, for sure. Markus, clearly the better man in this shot, and there's many poses to go, so we'll wait till we finish this one off to see if I do agree or disagree with the judges. The front lat spread, yes, very hard to tell with the silhouettes. But I wager to say Markus Ruhl, even Gunter, even in his smaller version here, he would still be able to defeat Markus, I think. The silhouette of Markus, not that good. It looks like he hits a most muscular when he hits the front lat spread. Of course, his side chests, pretty much all of his poses look like most musculars. But either way, I would definitely give Gunter this one. Oh, and speak of the devil, this is the side chest. And Gunter, he is very lean. And this one will be interesting in the next comparison. I haven't decided which versions I will be using, but I will be using a version where Gunter did place ahead of Markus. I'd like to find a couple of matchups where these guys are neck and neck, like here, 4th and 5th. Gunter, he just stands no chance in the side chest. And I believe this is probably the case with most of their versions. Most of the times that they were compared, Gunter would lose in the side chest, but hard to say. There was the 2002, I believe he had one heck of a side chest pose. Either way, side tricep is a Markus Ruhl pose. Look at the conditioning here, and not only that, but the muscle separation. Honest to goodness, ladies and gentlemen, set your coffee, your drinks, if you're drinking beer, vodka, set it down. Rub your eyes a little bit and have a look at Markus Ruhl's delt. Do you see the size of his shoulder? Wow, it's so big. I bet you he could lift a horse with one hand. Not a problem. Either way, he gets a point here. Turn around and the back development causes some controversy. I'm glad I told you to put your drinks down because this is incredible. Markus, you're losing in the back. Gunter, look at the glutes. From the calves to the glutes to the hamstrings. Hamstrings actually pretty good for Markus. But aside from that, lower back, the lats, the traps. Gunter Schlierkamp may change my mind in this. Maybe he was not being smoked at this evening, this event. Rear double bicep. Maybe a little bit better for Markus Ruhl, but I would still say Gunter Schlierkamp is getting it. He has more lower lat thickness. And the glutes, this is night and day. And this time the hammies, baby, please, do look a lot better for Gunter. So the battle of the German giants is turned around a little bit. Anyway, the ab and thigh. Unfortunately, this is the only shot we have, and I'm not going to award a point. Don't worry. Just based on this angle, Markus sure looks a lot better, and Gunter looks like a beanpole. But I mean, it's the angle. And not to mention, it's so blurry that you would never even be able to think about judging the conditioning of these two gentlemen. So we're going to ignore the ab and thigh, onto the most muscular and this massive version of Markus Ruhl. Just flatlining, and I mean flatlining. Gunter, just much more narrow, is Schlierkamp. But don't you worry, the next matchup, I have a feeling, will be a little bit more fair for Mr. Gunter. Gunter, I like that name. It is a fantastic one. We also have another most muscular, in which case I definitely would say Gunter looks a lot better in this pose, in this position of this pose, than that of the crab, because in no way, shape, or form is he defeating Markus Ruhl in this pose, nor is he defeating Markus Ruhl in this event at the 2004 Mr.Olympia. Markus Ruhl definitely was getting the Duke. But like I said, guys, we're going to do many other matches with these two. I just most recently did a couple of matches featuring the 2002 Markus Ruhl and the 2002 Gunter Schlierkamp. And I didn't do a comparison between them two because, let's face it, Gunter placed so far ahead of Markus Ruhl that you can pretty much guarantee that Gunter would have defeated Markus. Gunter really has a big schnoz, a big nose. If you've ever noticed how big his nose is, it's a canoe. It is. It's a big, big nose. And I find that very funny because I myself have a prominent proboscis. But man, it is a whopper. You guys seeing this? It's like a submarine sandwich. No disrespect meant to the big-nosed fellow, the Gunter Schlierkamp. But anyway, I find that very, very humorous, and I would laugh if I was not recording. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is an excellent matchup, and this is the first of many, like I said. Expect many more between Gunter and Markus Ruhl, German Giants. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit thumbs up, subscribe. Have a good day.